Joe Biden responded to the Republican Party's attempts to repeal the extra funding that was going towards the IRS that would assist the IRS in being able to have the resources, employees necessary to go after wealthy individuals, wealthy corporations who are getting out of paying their taxes, who are avoiding paying taxes. So here is what he said about that.
Is this how House Republicans are starting a new term? Cutting taxes for billionaires, raising taxes for working families, making inflation worse? Well, let me be very clear. If any of these bills make it to my desk, I will veto them. I will flat veto them. I'm ready to work with Republicans, not this kind of stuff. If they try to cut Social
Nothing's more iconic than the Biden whisper. What's interesting is this whole 87,000 IRS agents talking point has become my favorite thing to talk about because it's so incorrect in such blatant ways, and it's fun to walk through how the Republican Party has taken an action that, meaning has gotten focused on an action that is just so good. The Inflation Reduction Act, one of the things in that was to fund the IRS more, to hire what could be a total of 87,000 employees, not all agents, but employees, and provide more resources so that the IRS is capable, is able to go after wealthy individuals who are getting out of paying their taxes, the billionaires who we see reporting that they'll pay a lesser effective tax rate than you or I, a single-digit effective tax rate. Crazy. And so what that does is not only get the taxes that should be getting got, for lack of a better phrase, from billionaires, for example, and the funding it takes to do that is made back and then some by this process. They get back more in recovered taxes than it took to provide those extra resources so that they could get back those things. And so the fact that the Republican Party has just gone completely against this and made it out to be 87,000 IRS agents are being hired and they're coming for you. Even people have made it out to be an attack on MAGA somehow. And in reality, it's up to 87,000 employees can be funded, and most of those are positions that already exist. Over the next 10 years, people will leave their current job and new people will be filled in. That's what that number is getting tallied up to. And so it's so dishonest, but it's also fun to talk about because the action that they're critiquing is just so good. And so they're just so wrong. Here from the New York Times, House Republicans, in one of their first legislative moves, voted to cut funding for the Internal Revenue Service on Monday as conservative lawmakers try to kneecap President Biden's $80 billion overhaul of the beleaguered agency. The measure does not have the votes to pass the Democratic-controlled Senate, let alone receive approval from Mr. Biden. And there it notes, number one, $80 billion, but as we looked at in yesterday's show, the IRS would make back more money than that. We would come out on top as far as the money goes. And then also the fact that the House is going to do this as a virtue signal, but Biden, as he so correctly put it, will veto it. Let me know what you think. Luke P. Beasley on Twitter. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to be a part of what makes this show possible, plus get access to the full video version of the show hours before any of the clips are uploaded to YouTube, plus get a full extra show every single Saturday, you can do so by going to patreon.com/Luke Beasley. That's patreon.com/Luke Beasley, and there's a link in the description.